Hello, friends. We are recording another fanfiction today. This one is also written by me. This one is called It Has to Be You. Originally, I wrote this one during Kiribati month for 2025. I wrote it on the free day, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll tell you the summary and some of the tags. So I wrote a soulmate fic for Kirishima and Bakugou, obviously, since it was for Kiribati month. The way I like to write my soulmate fics, which I wrote to this way, is that they don't have soulmarks like from birth or when they first meet people or whatever. They appear when they first kiss their soulmate, and I think that's really cool because you can end up, being friends with someone for a long time or whatever, and not realizing that they're your soulmate. So, like I said, this one is called It Has to Be You, and it is a one-shot. And the summary for this one: soulmarks don't appear at birth or even when you meet your soulmate. In this world, the mark only shows up after you share your first kiss, but only if it's with the person you're meant for. For Kirishima and Bakugou, it happens when they least expect it, and maybe exactly when they need it most. So some of the tags for this one are soulmates, soul identifying marks, first kiss, Podfic, soft Bakugo Katsuki, Kirishima Eijiro needs a hug, I'm bad at tagging, best friends, friends to lovers, and Kiribati month. The relationship for this one is Kirishima Eijiro and Bakugo Katsuki, and they are also the only characters in this fanfiction. The rooftop was quiet, save for the hum of the city lights far below and the soft whistle of the wind brushing over the edge of the building. Kirishima sat with his knees pulled to his chest, arms wrapped tightly around them, staring out at nothing. The sky was dark and wide above him, but it didn't feel peaceful tonight. He hadn't said a word since they'd returned from the mission. Behind him, the door creaked open. He didn't turn around. He already knew who it was. Bakugo didn't speak at first, just the crunch of his boots across the gravel and the familiar weight of his presence settling beside him. They sat in the silence, shoulder to shoulder, as the wind picked up a little, brushing cool against Kirishima's face. Stop beating yourself up over it. Kirishima blinked slowly, eyes still fixed on the skyline. I hesitated. You thought that's not the same thing. I was supposed to protect them. Kirishima's voice caught, quiet and raw. You did. Bakugo's voice wasn't sharp, but firm, unusually steady. You jumped in, you got them out, you cracked a few ribs doing it, dumbass, but you did it. Kirishima let out a quiet breath. It shuddered on the way out. It didn't feel like enough. Bakugo turned to him, and then, when Kirishima finally glanced over, he was surprised by how calm Bakugo's expression was. No fire, no frustration, just honesty. You're not supposed to be perfect, Shihir. He paused, and the words that came next were quiet. Kirishima almost missed them. You just have to give a damn, and you always do. Kirishima stared at him, lips parting. Something warm bloomed in his chest, soft and sudden. Maybe it was the words, maybe it was how Bakugo said them, like they were obvious, like they'd been true for a long time. Before he could stop himself, before he thought, Kirishima leaned in. The kiss was gentle, brief, more instinct than intent. A small, soft thing full of gratitude and affection and something else they hadn't named yet. Bakugo didn't pull away. He leaned into it like it was the most natural thing in the world. When they parted, the silence felt different, like the world had tilted just slightly beneath them. Then it happened. A sudden heat pulsed beneath Kirishima's skin. He hissed and pulled back, looking down as a soft glow curled across the inside of his forearm, like someone was sketching firelight into his skin. Bakugo swore under his breath and yanked up his sleeve. The same glow was swirling across his own arm. Together, they watched the mark tape shape, a jagged stone, cracks glowing faintly at its heart, like it was about to explode. And then slowly the words appeared beneath the symbol, etched in clean, deliberate script. It has to be you. Kirishima's breath caught. He looked up, eyes wide, heart pounding in his chest like a drum. No way. Bakugo was staring too, lips slightly parted, expression unreadable. It's real, Kirishima whispered. Yeah, Bakugo exhaled. No shit. A beat passed. Then Bakugo added, voice quieter this time, almost embarrassed. I knew before the damn mark. Kirishima blinked. You did? Bakugo didn't look at him, but he nodded. You're the only person who ever made me feel right. Like I could be more than what people expected me to be. Like I didn't have to prove anything. Kirishima's throat tightened. His chest felt full too, of relief, of disbelief, of something that had been waiting so long to be said. So, Kirishima began, a hesitant smile tugging at his lips. Where do we go from here? Bakugo was quiet for a beat, staring down at the mark glowing faintly on his skin. When he looked up, his expression wasn't smug or guarded, just open, honest in a way Kirishima rarely got to see. He exhaled through his nose, almost like a laugh. We keep going, he said simply. Just now you know what I've known for a while. Kirishima's breath caught, eyes wide. Yeah? Bakugo glanced away, ears tinged with red. Yeah, idiot. That made Kirishima laugh, bright and breathless, the tension breaking like sunlight through clouds. He leaned in, resting his forehead against Bakugo's shoulder, and felt the warmth of a hand ghosting over his, careful but sure. Their marks pulsed once in quiet agreement. Above them, the sky stretched wide and endless, but for the first time in a long time, neither of them felt alone. Alright, guys, thank you so much for listening to this one shot. Hopefully, we'll be back with another one. I still have quite a few fan fictions that I have to record that are my own personal ones, and I'm in the middle of like 9 or 10 fan fictions. So by the time I get them all recorded and posted, I might have more. So, that's what we do. Alright, thanks again. I will link the original fan fiction in the description in case you'd like to go to it and leave kudos or comments on the original, and I always appreciate comments here. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.